Should I submit a CIC proposal or not? That's no easy question to answer, but I hope this brief video will give you some idea of the direction of the process and if it's something that matches your interests. So here we go. The first question then is, what's your intention? The why? Why is it that you're doing this? What we're hoping is that you're doing it from a spirit of sharing. That is, you have something valuable you've developed over the years and you want to give it back to the community to let it grow and expand our mission. That's much different than selling the latest XYZ technique or your new DVD. So the spirit is that of sharing and giving into the community. The second idea is that by presenting it 7 times to 7 different groups of people, hopefully you'll gain new insights that are valuable and grow your idea from there. Then we also look for leaders in this process. So we're looking at who wants to step up, who wants to lead, and this is often a first stepping point into giving future presentations and being recruited for committee work. So it's a great way to make your face known in the organization. Also, it'll be a chance to meet new collaborators because you're going to find within these interest groups other people that may share your passion or have a complementary passion that will fit with you. So there's a great opportunity to further collaborate within the organization. And it might be that your particular idea you want to share will raise a whole new awareness that no one else is doing. So that spark of innovation and creativity for our association and for the profession of yoga therapy. And then finally, in this give and take of communication, meeting, sharing ideas, then we hope to create a deeper sense of community so that as you go back to do your work, you'll have that sense of contributed and also being supported by others. Now, the what exactly is this CIC proposal? Well, it's a 10-minute talk, 10 minutes only. They cut you off at 10 minutes. You'll get a 1-minute warning at 9 minutes, but 10 minutes they cut you off. And in that 10 minutes, you want to describe or share that idea, that insight, that new programming, something the rest of the community might be able to either template or use or spark a new idea for them. So you need to have a broad interest. So be sure you read the directions carefully because that explains that in a lot of detail. Then the other thing to know is there'll be no slides or visual aids. You're going to just be communicating to that circle of people at the particular stop where you're at. And so there are no PowerPoints to mess with. I'd also recommend that you have some sort of emotional hook within the story, something that gets people excited, because just plain dry data is rather dead. So if there's some way within the story you can get an emotional hook. Do not spend the time telling us about your background, your credentials, and that sort of thing. That's a complete waste of time. There'll be a short bio for each of the presenters in the pre-publication information, so that the 10-minute talk is not about you. It's about that great idea you have. You also have to have some physical endurance because you're going to give it 7 times in a row. So 7 10-minute talks. Same talk. See, that's why it's got to have that emotional hook. You got to be fresh and ready to go. After your 10-minute talk, that circle will then spend 5 minutes sharing back to you of things they do that are similar, asking for simple clarifications, that sort of thing. But it's really a give and take so you can really nurture and build on that idea you have. And then finally, each time someone gives you an idea like, oh, that's great, and we do it this way, and they just mention, a particular handout they use or whatever, they're going to write that on their business card and give it to you, and you're going to collect those to compile all this new information about your program. This is what it's going to look like. You'll have the 7 circles. You'll start at 1, and at one of the circles, you'll see where it says computer there. There'll be a computer that will be recording your presentation. That way, you'll be given a copy of it. If you want to make a YouTube out of it or share it in your social network, that's great. But it also then gives the other 6 presenters an opportunity to see the others' talks, because they're all 7 of you are going to be busy doing the circle there. So that gives you access to that. So as you move through, you finish 10-minute talk, 5-minute discussion, move to the next circle. We complete that whole process. Now, the how. How do you do it? First, you complete the proposal process precisely. So you do the proposal process precisely. Every year, people fill it in inaccurately, don't complete it, very obviously didn't read directions, quite honestly, that makes for a bad omen as to the quality of the presentation, so that usually gets you dumped into the trash can as far as your proposal. So we want to complete it precisely and have a friend review it before you send it in, and have them read the directions to make sure you caught each part of it, because that simplifies the process for our volunteer chairpersons not to have to chase after data. Then consider a handout to supplement your content, and that handout will be available online. We won't have printed copies at the fair, so don't use it as a crutch in your presentation, but it'll be the kind of thing that you can say, and when we developed our handout and brought it forward, you'll be able to see this in your supplemental handout, but this is how it worked and blah, 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 blah. So you can point to it as an idea, but you're not going to use it as a visual crutch. And then you just need to practice, because if you've got an 11-minute talk and you have to truncate it by a minute every time, you're going to be frustrated, the audience is going to be frustrated, so you really want to get it honed down to that 10 minutes. Of course, bring a lot of your business cards, because people are going to want to know more about what you're doing. They're going to want to collaborate, so be sure you have a big stack of your cards. And then finally, go out and invite your colleagues to apply as well, because this is going to be an exciting process. We're going to have so many new ideas and so many interchanges and new friendships and collaborations made. So that's where we're headed with this whole process of common interest communities. And we appreciate you considering it, and good luck as you submit your proposal and you make yoga a respected and recognized therapy.